The recording, the recording. Sema. So now, welcome back to the channel. Something that I've done a video previously about, the Odyssey. Yeah, the reactions to all the casting. It's majorly a casting issue, in my opinion, and there might be elements of wokeness in there. But there was something that happened. They released, countdown trailer, which, in my opinion, is indicating something that, as you've read the title of this, and this is not siko baya to anyone. My thing is that, in my opinion, this has to stop. The ideology that is underpinning the kind of decisions that these people are making. I want you to look here. I want you to look down here. All right? The like to dislike ratio of this particular. This is, I think, Nolan. I think he was either, is it overestimating or underestimating his ability. So if you look down here, 487,000 dislikes versus 63,000 likes. Yeah, like it's almost to a factor of 8, 9, 10 times more people dislike this. And it was, if you can see there, because it was mainly because of the casting of, in my opinion, 2 people. That's one aspect of it. We are going to talk about the others, but the casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy, that race swap is not good. It's not worked for many other things. The only one probably is Nuke Fury that it has worked really, like in that universe. But this race swapping, this woke identity politics is this time round. I wish that it's the final nail in the coffin of this ideology in filmmaking and art in general. The fact that people feel it necessary to always have to insert this woke garbage in everything. So we are going to listen first to Critical Drinker here. Now, there are a lot of disclaimers that people are putting here. Oh, it might succeed. It is just Nolan. He will succeed. I mean, fine. It's probably a good argument because the guy, he turned Oppenheimer into a $1 billion movie and many others, and is known for his stringent standards and a lot of, practical effects, famously, buying a whole plane and crashing it. Is known for such. And the fact that even a person at his level has to stoop to doing this mediocre identity politics in filmmaking, it actually shows me how serious these people are about indoctrinating the world into this particular ideology. Let's watch what a Critical Drinker is saying about this. Then I'll give you my commentary as usual. I'm a VP.
Oh dear, if it's not one thing, it's another. No sooner has Hollywood weathered the absolute storm that blew up around Supergirl, causing irreparable damage to female-led superhero movies.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a video about the box office bomb that they use Supergirl. It's because Supergirl, all this Superman, all these people, all these franchises is where I love the movies the most. I love sci-fi, superhero movies, action. My genre, so to speak. So I'm even willing to drop standards, in a bit of writing here and there just to have some great action, but not total. We've always been able to give something away to receive great action, like Rambo. Sylvester couldn't really act, but, what he did was sufficient to bring out the action. But I digress. The main thing here is that this movie has bombed so horribly. They are going to lose over $100 million. I'm going to do a video about that, so that to give you a bigger perspective of why we should not be embracing a lot of what Hollywood is doing in terms of the storytelling, the ideology behind the storytelling. We shouldn't follow, and that's why I do these videos, because they've come around. They've come around with their nonsense. Yeah, so you know. Anyway, let me continue.
And probably James Gunn's career, then another tempest looms on the horizon. And I'm not talking about the kind that this Galadriel cosplayer was banging on about.
There's a tempest in me.
You know, the reason why I'm laughing, such a serious scene, is how they were trying to sound so profound and epic, and using that what do you call it, that British old school language, those vocabulary, and this was one of the worst series that's ever been done. The way they tried to append the original story, the characters and everything, they did actually, and they were hated universally for it. The producers, the people who funded it, yes, Bezos, I know it's a lot of money, but you lost a lot of money. It is, I believe, the most expensive series per episode, I believe, that's ever been created, and it's also easily one of the worst.
I mean, another potentially devastating audience backlash, this time against Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. It's a film that's already had its share of controversies and criticisms, everything from the postmodern feminist translation of the source text to the cinematography, costumes, historical authenticity, look and feel, and worst of all,
let me be honest about the things about costume. Some of this, what the warriors were wearing, the costume is not period accurate, and it was not from this period. But generally speaking, people don't take too much umbrage with that. They don't really care as much as that, because sometimes some things like this what do you call this, to helmets, they you can just say ancient Greek, ancient Rome, ancient this, and Europe somewhere, and it will other than the Vikings, and it will fit the Rome aesthetic, Greek Rome. It will fit, even if it's like not as far as there are no guns. It will kind of fit, That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's not that serious,
Sting.
And it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
I will not be. I will not be quelled by you, Regent. This was such a bad take on Galadriel. It was such a bad take. It reduced it to this masturbatory feminist tropes that they think, because they think that a man, the way men are, what we do, our careers, and the way we behave, how we talk, they think it's superior to women. That's why you see feminists always talk about how they want feminists to have male jobs, women to have male jobs, behave like women and whatnot. And you see, because is that what you're saying, feminists? That you understand that the male sphere, if you like, is whatever we do, whatever we deliver to the world, it's superior in almost everything. If you're looking at technology, inventions, if you're looking at infrastructure, protection, money, all those things. Are you accepting that, or feminists, or what?
Not only is it a movie based on an ancient Greek legend with no actual Greek people in it, but, well, the people they actually did cast were questionable at best.
Bro.
And holy shit, did people make their feelings known. At the time of making this...
Then they have that Elliot stroke Ellen Page, somebody actor, who is a woman but pretending to be a man now. She's done a lot of surgeries to try and look like a man, a lot of hormone therapy. She's worked out, Nini, but people want to call her he. I've seen her had a lot of that nonsense going around. But it's a woman that we all pretending, we are so nonsense. Spare me the absolute woke garbage and virtue signaling it, calling a woman he. Come on now.
Video, the latest countdown trailer, is sitting at 48,000 likes and 213,000 dislikes.
So what I showed you here, you see over here. Why did I put this cap here? What I showed you here, is it here? Yes, 487, and over here anasema ni what? How much?
48,000 likes and
200. So it's doubled since this is from the 3rd to today. So it's doubled in dislike. God damn. Hey, watu hawacheki.
213,000 dislikes.
What? Just self-inflicted.
God only knows what it'll be like by the time you're watching this video. Either way though, that is fucking brutal, man. I've never seen anything like this on a Christopher Nolan movie. Make no mistake, this is more than just a few curmudgeons on the internet fighting a culture war. This is a mainstream, widespread backlash against this movie. This is the kind of shitstorm I haven't seen since Snow White.
It's Hollywood, baby.
I'm telling you that this woman, this Rachel Zegler, if we hire someone like that and who just goes out to tank your movie you've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on, my friend, I will destroy your career. Let's keep it real. Oh, you see, the problem is this ideology. It allowed of these mediocre people, actors, even mediocre directors, mediocre writers. They are going in there and they allow, as long as you can just regurgitate the woke buzzwords and, oh, I am this, I'm queer, that, I'm what this. As long as you can do that, then they are allowed to actually even put the projects in danger in service of the ideology. I'm just shocked. The reason why I think they are so serious about this is just I'm shocked how many failures, like huge commercial failures, they've allowed to happen in service of this ideology, this wokeness. My friend, kuwa macho.
It's interesting to compare this to the backlash against Supergirl because in some ways I can see the parallels between the perception of the two films.
Right here.
That doesn't make sense.
Now stick with me here because I am going someplace with this.
Does it?
Supergirl had the bad luck of landing right at the intersection of three major problems in modern entertainment. 1. Superhero fatigue. 2. Girl boss fatigue. And 3. James Gunn fatigue.
So I'm going to address the superhero fatigue. I think it's a trope people are just making up. If the superhero movies were good, people still be enjoying them. They did it for 10 plus years on that Avengers epic. They did it and people followed through and it's good movies. It has nothing to do with superhero fatigue. We've always had superheroes and such characters in many other aesthetics, comic books, cartoons, whatnot, and people have always enjoyed them as long as it's good quality. So this is an overplayed line, but we're gonna tolerate it because I like the person using it.
All of those factors combined together to sour people's anticipation for the film before it even released. Because us humans are pretty good at pattern recognition, and let's be honest here, we've had a pretty bad run of female-led superhero movies and TV shows over the past.
So you should say female superhero fatigue, movie fatigue, yes. Because I think other than Wonder Woman, there's none that has really been written well or, acted well. It's all been kind of this, I'm a feminist, look at me raw kind of situation, or strong and powerful woman, no journey, this what, and just condensing. And, it's like you're trying to root for the person doing the role, but they're even a-holes in real life. Like when the actors are they are interviewed about the movie, they start talking about misogyny, female SWAT, like you're just creating the unnecessary demarcations where you'll just have people just come watch a movie, it's good. The reason why they do that is because the movie is there specifically for the ideology. It's in service of the ideology, not the ideology in service of the story itself or the movie. So they know that they have to push it regardless. And then, of course, they'll call people names who don't enjoy it and whatnot. That's Maju. Locally, it also came to that. It's the same kind of ideology where locally here, when, say, Gitoshe's movie does badly, he goes telling people, the Kenyans don't love their own. No, they just didn't like your movie. They watched Nairobi Half-Life, the one you did with Ginger and the Tikwas. They enjoyed that because it was a great script. It was acted well, it was cut well, and everything like that. No, they just didn't like your movies, your pretentious garbage. They didn't. So it's not about the Kenyans. Because Kenyans support TikTokers here. You think these Kenyan TikTokers making money and whatnot and fame, you think they're who's supporting them? It's Kenyans. So Kenyans support their own as long as you meet them where they're at, entertain them. Not bring your pretentious half kilelesho badly written story. Oh, najua sisi ni mababi lakini tutaongea kwa Kiswahili. Like nobody likes you because you're not, people don't, nobody likes your movies because they are not representing anyone, and the storytelling is not even creative, and it's the same people doing the same things, same tired tropes over and over. So it has nothing to do. So I'm just trying to create this dichotomy. Ndio mjue, this is not just an ideology that pushes anything, but it's an ideology that encompasses many things to create a victim narrative for the person losing. And in this particular case, when somebody's movie does well, they say, oh, in this year, because you don't have white people, they'll blame Kenyans in general. In fact, Kenyans don't like your thing. Now, you see, over there, they can blame white people, they can blame men, because they have a more developed anti-male propaganda from feminists there. So they'll do that. Anyway, I digress again.
Past 5 years, and we've had an even worse run of James Gunn-led projects. Keep serving up shit footage.
Let me tell you the truth. Sorry I keep interrupting it, but this is important. I think people like James Gunn are really overrated. You can't give me $100, $200, $150 million and I do a bad movie. It's impossible. Because with that money, you can hire the best person for each role to do your movie. From the writer to the cinematographer to the editor to the sound designer, everybody, to the actors. And actors, it's a character thing. So some actors will, even if they're not well known, they'll fit a character well and kick it out of the park. But you see, you'll get the best person, the exact person you want for this, but they won't do it because it has to be laced with the ideology. Because the people actually talented enough to do these things will not be allowed because they're not disciples of the ideology. And their art won't be in service of the ideology.
Your restaurant, and guess what? People are going to start complaining and then they're going to stop showing up. But the Odyssey might be walking right into its own little intersection of stuff that people are getting increasingly pissed off about. For example, 1. Race swap fatigue. 2.
That is the main one. For me, at least, I'll explain.
Gender ideology fatigue. And
that's another. These are now the major ones. Zendaya fatigue.
3. Zendaya fatigue.
I mean, if an actor is good, they can be in a lot of things, but there's always inevitably, when an actor is overused, people do get tired of them, some. But the thing is this. If you're a great actor, they stay on. If they started when they were in their 20s, they go on till their 60s and they continue killing it. They just transition accordingly. Like there are many, the Pierce Brosnans, what is the short little man, Tom Cruise, those people. They just grew. Admittedly, they're not as many. That's why really good talent is rare. But they're there and there are many. Even if you look on the women's side, there are many there. You can go and Google them, the old ones that came in, when they were young, 20, 16, or 18, 21. Then they're still here playing matriarch roles, although now it's in service of this nonsense.
Let's start with the first one because, well, it's first.
All
now,
right.
You don't need me to tell you that there's been a frustrating rise in the race swapping of established characters and in some cases, actual historical figures in recent...
This woman here, guys, this woman right here, this one is a black woman they put in the Vikings, but those days when there was, even these days in Viking countries, it's just like in the last 20 years or 30 years that they really took in immigrants, that you have a small percentage, 5-10%. These guys did a series, I can't even remember what this one was, and put a woman, black woman, as a leader of Vikings in That's how you know we are cooked. It's total nonsense.
Tell you that there's been a frustrating rise in the race swapping of established characters and in some cases actual historical figures in recent years. And of course, it only ever goes in one direction. There's this weirdest...
This is the thing. Unfortunately, that's true. A lot of the times when they're doing the race swaps, because it's in service of the identity politics, they're always changing white men, like white characters into black or different characters, or sometimes straight to, but that's another story. Those rainbow people. But that is the problem. Because people like me, who's a black filmmaker or an African filmmaker, have to defend these people despite the fact that all of you would jump, CG, you are kissing us, white people. No, I'm just fair. I'm not like you. I'm not a racist idiot. I'm just fair. Why do you think? First of all, there is two ways. It's the disrespect of African culture first, and then there is the disrespect of white people's culture, wherever they come from. If it's the Nordics, if it's the British, whatever. It's the disrespect of their cultures. Look at it the first way. Why do you feel it necessary to always insert Africans into European cultural artifacts? Their stories, their poems, and what Odyssey. Why do you feel it necessary to always insert us there? Why don't you feel it necessary to come to this continent where we all are a billion people plus, with over 1,000 plus tribes, 2,000 plus tribes, and hundreds of thousands of different stories and mythology? Why don't you come and just get one and do it here? First of all, it will be cheaper if you're shooting it in Africa. It will be much cheaper. With $5 million, you can bring heaven down. But that's not your intention, is it? Your intention is like people like me, an African, should think like a woke 18-year-old lesbian, trans, non-binary person there in San Francisco. That's your whole idea. You don't want my culture. You don't want to show my culture. You don't want to show my cultural expression. You don't really want to. Of course, you'll do the kitenges and the normal things. Masai Shuka. You'll do the tourist artifacts. Those ones you'll wear. You can go kneel down during George Floyd thing, whatever. Of course, criminals, African. The problem that you have is that it's never... you never race, swap, and do a good story. It's always some pandering bullshit that's written by idiots. Like, I just found out that the woman who wrote or directed or wrote the Supergirl thing had just done one short film that was not even really good. Like, just she had a credit of one short film. Talk about affirmative action inserting mediocrity in the process. That's why that movie is that bad. I will come to it. Let's continue.
Assumption that every other culture, race, and ethnic group in the world are entitled to their own unique stories, history,
Yes.
and identity, and it all has to be careful.
But this is the thing. Unless your culture is not in agreement with their woke culture, then it's no, that's, yeah. Do you understand what I mean? They just want people who look different but think the same, like drones. You're all regurgitating the same buzzwords. The misogyny and the imperialism, and that's what they want. Just drones, just thinking that they are moral, or think. No, not really. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you think you're more moral, but it's really pretending you're more moral because you just understood communism and you thought it sounded nice somehow. Because you're an idiot, you'll continue regurgitating the rubbish you got that communism from, and not knowing. And because you're arrogant and you have ego, you'll continue to be stupid, regurgitating things, not realize there are people making money from your stupidity and your virtue signaling, and you have victim narratives. They're making millions of dollars on movies with astronomical budgets that they pay themselves. To eat this money, because that's what it is, to push the ideology which they don't even believe in themselves. Don't be an idiot.
Fenced off, protected, and respected. Whereas anything created by white Europeans is treated like some generic all-you-can-eat.
Bro, you've seen the way they brought there. They even put in this black, the black women as the Queen of England. What time? It was not there. And you see, it's that. They will never put a white man, by the way, right now. These woke people, have you seen any white man who's king of Guinea? Who's king? Anywhere that they'll show a movie that a white man came and they'll call that colonialism. What do you think this is?
buffet that everyone's allowed to stick their hands into. Black female Vikings? Sure, why not? An Asian Isaac Newton? Of course. An English Tudor...
Bro. Asian Isaac Newton. Like, these guys, they just don't... They don't care as long as they can push the ideology. That's why I'm telling you, they're so dangerous. They're willing to corrupt so much to push the ideology. They are meant to enter. What they are doing is they're trying to homogenize the world around their worldview. So even as Africans here, you can see the NGOs. It's the same narrative. When you listen to these people, you listen to our activists. Don't they sound the same? The same buzzwords, the same ideology they're spewing about everything. If you look at war, they support the same thing. If you look at women rights, whatever, same thing. If you look at marriage, they think about it the same way. If you think about gays, they think about it the same way. How is that even coherent to an actual factual human experience? They will talk about Islamophobia, but they will not follow Islam. If they can take that gayness of theirs to Dubai or the Middle East and see what happens there. It is just it's convoluted garbage. It's meant to confuse you, at the same time follow rubbish. Because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like a victim. Oh, they put me in a movie. These people really care about us, but they've never done a movie about you. They've never come with their millions of dollars and painted this continent red consistently. This is the thing, because you always have to follow some of their nonsense laws about wokeness and diversity and all that rubbish. So because here they'll come, it's only Africans. What they want to be to diversify into is gay storylines and themes. Yes, some trans stuff. Some women empowerment stuff, which they are doing, of course. But that's what they'll do. Here we don't have like white, because really in Kenya it will be the equivalent of saying, you guys, you need to put some more Indians into your movies, put some more white people into your movies. That's the equivalent, but they won't do it because colonialist, imperialist.
Sure, why not? An Asian Isaac Newton? Of course. An English Tudor queen who's somehow African?
God damn. They will not do a story about your African queens, though, would they?
It just makes sense.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Well, no, actually.
I'm telling you, and I saw that African queen person in Tudor. Is it Tudor or England? Like it's how brazen they are. You see, how can you be woke and you want other cultures represented, but you take white people's culture and try to make it ours? Like, see, that's what the colonialists did, for better or worse. Isn't that what they did? Why would you want to put us in their stories? I'm guessing that would be against this ideology too, but you don't really care about that really. You just want to spoil their thing, these white people, because you say the white people are the evil ones. So you just want to spoil their thing. It has nothing to do with us or representing us or our stories. No, it's about getting back at whites, and it's usually by whites, these woke communist idiot types. It's them. But you see, so at the same time, as you are meant to, me, I'll take the sides of these other conservative whites. Yes, I'll take their side. You can go cry about it. Oh, they're the racists. It's because you watch too much news and you have about 4 brain cells and they're competing for supremacy. That's why you can't think yourself out of this. You like that notion of being a victim, a noble victim. You like that notion, don't you? Pathetic. It actually makes you pathetic, but because you are so many screaming, oh, free Palestine, from your dungeon there where you've been stealing money from someone on the internet. We know who you are. Jamazeni tafadhali, free Palestine and women empowerment, feminism, misogyny. It's just a series of badges for stupid people. And because they know once they plant that in you and you say it a few times, you get a reaction. You think you're actually smart and you discovered something. No, you're a buffoon.
It doesn't. And you know what? I think people are getting a bit sick of this shit. They're getting sick of being written out of their own cultural heritage and even their own history. They're getting sick of being labelled racist just for pointing out something that's provably, verifiably bullshit. And they're getting sick of being expected to just shut up and accept it. Which is why the casting of Lupita Nyong'o as...
Man, I have to tell you this thing. This is one of the main reasons why I want this film to fail. Because once it fails, from the best director that's going around currently, the most bankable director, if it fails, underperforms or just tanks, it will send a strong message that the culture has changed, that we are not going to tolerate this kind of stupid storytelling and propagandizing of the masses using people's cultures and myths. And you see this open racism and hatred of specifically white people. While as we want, see our culture represent. But you want to go play Helen of Troy, while at the same time talking badly about white people. And she was asked some question on this particular one, and I think I'll find it and play it. It's her response is so stupid and woke.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them? Okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like, remember us?
You know, I wanted to fail because they've gotten their monies. The Wakina Lupita will be paid their money. The budget is there. Hundreds of millions. So if it fails, it puts an end to the fact that we don't want, the whole world does not want a Luo Nilot Helen of Troy. And you see, I think is the fact that these people have gotten in there. And Lupita, you went there, Bwana, and yes, you've done some great things, but you just you became a woke idiot, an identitarian. You go into other people's country and you start taking their bottom of their... You are in the... By the way, Lupita, right now you represent the downfall of Hollywood and the bad storytelling and the wokeness, identity politics, hating white people just because they are white, making up history that is not there, just so that you can lord it over other people and pretend you're more moral. You are not. And you keep every single time, man. Like, I really wish, I usually want, like, when Kenyans go out there, they succeed. I wish so, because it gives us a good... how do you say, it gives us a good reputation out there. And once people they're more likely to do business if you have a good reputation, or you guys have talented actors. It's likely they can come and do some of their movies here, and we expand and whatnot. But no, these people go there, and by the way, these are the people pulling the ladders behind. They come, they join the ideology, knowing very well that none of us can get in unless we start regurgitating the same nonsense she's regurgitating now. The Hollywood leftist ideology. I'm not a leftist. I am never going to be a leftist. I'm too old to be that stupid. Leftism is for children, but in this particular instance, it has failed to even sell movies. But they want to force it down people, so saying something like, why didn't Homer, when she was being asked about this, I think she said something like, why didn't Homer put more women in his stories? Like, this buffoon thinks like Homer, who lived thousands of years ago, should have been a feminist, a modern feminist. Do you see how this is just garbage? They just talk. They've been given talking points, but because they know a lot of you will support them because skin color. No character, just skin color. Oh, he's African. She's Luo. Imagine if they put over here Brad Pitt as Luanda Magere. You guys will lose your minds. But you don't have the same kind of nuanced thinking when they are doing this there. Because you're so... you've put your heads... How do you call it? You have hidden your heads in the sand because you're enjoying here the pandering of by these fake white people, the woke ones. They're pandering to you. Oh, diversity, equality. So you tell them all you think about gays and you see how diverse they think your ideology is. My friend.
Helen of Troy, one of the most iconically beautiful women in all of literature, hit a bit of a sore spot for a lot of people and probably came at the worst possible time. Now, personally, I like Lupita Nyong'o. I think she's a talented actress, but come on, man. There's no fucking way you're convincing me or anyone else that she was the right person to play this role.
She's not. And the worst thing about it that now, Lupita is okay looking. She's not a stunner. The main reason she's in Hollywood, first of all, is because she's from a privileged family who can get access. Secondly, is because she's talented. Not because she's a stunning looker. No, she's not. Hey, that's the real. She's okay looking. She's athletic. Sometimes she looks too thin when they're going through their whatever Hollywood stuff makes whatever too thin. But sometimes kanatoka hivi kanaongeza kidogo. But generally speaking, she's okay. Six there, 6.5. Yes, out of 10. Yes, in looks department. In talent, you probably put her at an 8 or something, and she'll eat nicely. Her projects have been very successful because she's a good actress, not because she's good looking. Yes, let's delineate these things. All right, there. Entertainment, people like to see beautiful people most of the time. And if you're ugly, you look exceptionally ugly to be memorable. Or you're quirky enough to be memorable. It's about having... But you see, generally, beauty beats everything else. Mimi nikikuwa kwa movie, me I've always been cast as a policeman and a bouncer. Because of sura ngumu. They have to put me there because this is what, when you see somebody like me, you don't see a lover boy. Okay, you don't see a Mtuma over there, like lips. You don't see that. You see just some hardcore kissing guy. Some brute. You see it in my face. But they want to pretend. Now imagine they force you to try to say they are my lover boy. They put for me over there, jina balaba, my big lips. Najaribu kwa kucompete na kina handsome boys hapa wakina Jason Momoa. My friend, that's joke.
It's an act of lunacy.
That's right, Sean Connery. It is. You know what's also an act of lunacy? Casting Elliot Page in this movie, which brings...
Yeah. This chick has been cast as a dude here, I believe. It's just the entire me, especially be this trans movement, man. Like, no, I zero tolerance. Do you understand what I'm saying? Zero tolerance. Because you have to be real about this. Why are they doing this? Why are they using some of those most effective ways to transmit culture, to try and send this message incessantly for like 15 years? They've been trying this stuff. Why?
Brings me neatly along to my second issue in the unholy trifecta. Gender ideology. Now, we all know that Elliot Page recently transitioned from female to male, and that's fine.
You can't transition from female to male, first of all. That's just a lie. What do you mean you transition from female to male? Which science is that, drinker? Which science is this that a person can transition male to male? Are you just dense, or you don't understand what's going on here? Come on.
By
now.
me. I hope he's living his best life now and that he's happy and fulfilled.
Oh, God, he's calling she, he. Do you know these people think that by playing this game that you'll be accepted or I can just call it. No. You're just lying. You're perjuring yourself in the interest of you're bowing to this silly ideology. Critical drinker. This is very disappointing. Are you stupid or something?
Builds. But it does create a bit of a problem when it comes to casting, because Elliot Page is 5'1" and weighs about 90 pounds soaking wet. He makes Millie Alcock look positively statuesque, and no amount of shadow boxing videos is going to change that. Notice how they put him next to the smallest man they could possibly find to try and make him look bigger. Well, your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me, son.
I'm actually quite shocked this guy just went calling this woman he throughout. She's so pathetic, dude. It's so pathetic. You're one of the top guys, man. This doesn't make you that you're accepting, because you're trying to please some idiot somewhere. Did you get a deal somewhere in the back there, or because of the short film you did or the concepts? Did you get some calls from Hollywood? So you have been told, hey, you must call them he. Come on, I'm actually a bit disappointed by the way. Why are you calling a woman he? Dude, it's fucking stupid.
Anyway, he's playing a Greek soldier named Sinon, who was never actually mentioned in the Odyssey or even the Iliad, but who cares at this point, because we're just...
Yeah, they just did that to put her there. Just to put a woman there and pretend it's a man. And then you're here calling he. Man.
Winging this shit. But I mean, how? What the fuck is he supposed to fight?
You idiot.
Against. I mean, his own armor probably weighs more than he does. The moment he's on screen amongst
I'm going to say, every time he says he, I'm going to say she. And I'm going to cut this, and idiocy.
Other men, he's gonna look like a small, malnourished
She.
child playing at soldiers. Believing this kind of crap requires the same kind of mental gymnastics that...
Yeah, like the one you're playing right now, calling the she a he, calling a woman he throughout. That mental gymnastics you're trying right now. You don't get to call a woman he, then at the same time pretend that it's people who are doing mental gymnastics. You are doing mental gymnastics, critical drinker. How pathetic can you be, dude? This is bottom feeder behavior. You've been wokeness bad. Then when you get to the trans line there, the trans. Are you afraid you'll be cancelled by the trans? People, did you get a call from someone important in the CIA? They've told you, no, that's our psyop. You better follow or we shut you down. Did you get such a call that you keep on calling a woman he over here? I'm extremely disappointed by this bullshit.
Allows 5'3" Scarlett Johansson to beat up a room full of men twice or
Why don't you call her she then? We see. What's the difference between her and that Ellen Page person? They're both women. Yes? Are they not both women?
Guys, again, it's something we've all had to collectively suffer through for like a decade now. This notion that men and women's fighting potential is even vaguely comparable.
And then you keep calling this woman he. Like you can't have it both ways, dude. You can't have it both ways.
And well, nobody buys it anymore, man. Especially...
Yeah, the same way you're calling her he. Nobody's buying it. You're full of shit, dude.
In a movie made by Mr. Ultra Serious Christopher Nolan, this isn't some cheesy action flick or a dumb superhero movie where believability sits firmly on the back burner. This is meant to be a grounded, realistically portrayed narrative, and it looks ridiculous.
Just like you calling that woman he. That's how ridiculous it sounds. As ridiculous as it looks.
Issue is a less prominent one, but I do get the feeling it's becoming more prevalent as time goes on.
Yeah. Okay, fine. He's going to talk about Zendaya fatigue. I don't think it's an issue. She's just a bit of a plain actress. And he's pissed me off with this nonsense of calling a woman he over here. Like he's trying to be, I'm woke. Am I woke? Am I woke? Huh? My wokeness, my woke. Come on, dude. Anywho, what I wanted to say about this Odyssey, the reason why it must fail is that this ideology that's getting people like critical drinker to perjure themselves, start calling a woman he over here, that is the problem. This ideology needs to be shut down. It seems to be so powerful that you're seeing people here trembling. People have made their entire audiences from being factual, not pandering to this nonsense. It's made them now start to pander to it like it's what? I don't care about it. And I will never be put in a position where I have to call a woman he because whatever gender ideology, trans garbage. I mean, it's so disappointing. But at the same time, this is why I want the Odyssey to fail, because we cannot continue with this perjuring of humanity with a backward Western ideology that doesn't care about anything else other than perpetuating itself to its fullest extent while destroying everything in its path, all creativity, all manner of expression. You just want to pollute everything with that. But I don't know what you think about my reaction to this video. By the way, my film stuff will be put on this channel, 3D Africa Media, below. And I'll really appreciate if you share it so that people know. But it's going to be that. I do have my other channel, Albert O. Nyakundi. I'm going to leave a link to it down below if you like what. There I do more politics, just trending stuff and whatnot, because I have a lot that I enjoy in this world, and all of it I want it to be content. Just as long as I can share it with the people, I love that very much. So until next time, don't be woke.